everyone, so today I'm going to be reviewing the Monoprice Monolith M1060s. First, I'll go over the pros of these headphones, the good things about it that I found. Second, the cons, the bad things. And last, I'll talk about the sound quality, which is what a lot of people are here for. Okay, so let's get started. Connectors, and they plug in really easy. You hear it snap in. So the other thing that Monoprice did is that they included this 3.5mm to 6.35mm adapter. So now if you have this type of connection on your DAC or other device, you'll be able to connect it. You don't need to buy your own, but more on that later. So let's move on to the pros of these headphones. So the pros are, they look really great. I mean, especially this wood here, makes it look really good. The pads are really plush and they're deep. So your ears are gonna go in there and they'll be well sealed. So I found that this headband is pretty comfortable and it's easy to adjust, no problems there. So I think 6 feet of cable is more than enough. I found that it works great. So that's a pro there. And overall, I must say they sound great. And I'll talk about this more later, but the bass is incredible on these things. So at first I thought that this right angle connector would be an issue, but I'm gonna say it's actually a pro. I actually like the right angle connector. That's a good thing. So another pro is that you can actually open up the grills here, and if you wanted to mod these headphones, you can. So that is a pro. So for example, if you wanted to change up the sound, you can remove this cushion here. I read on forums that other people are actually putting a piece of brownie towel paper on top of these, and that would change up the sound. I believe it brings up the treble a bit. But again, it's good that you can do that. So now let's talk about the cons of this headphone. So these aren't perfect, but for all the good things that it also has some bad things. So first thing is these pads are actually glued on, as you can see here. So they're not user removable, so if you are gonna change them up, you're gonna have to kind of peel off the glue and glue your new pads on. Not a big deal, but it would have been nice if these were user removable. However, I found this other adapter that I had that I believe is higher quality. When I put it on this adapter, notice that this doesn't move. So what you're looking for, so you're gonna have to probably replace this adapter if you're gonna use it, the one that came with the headphones, and buy another one. You could probably get it on Amazon or something. Just make sure it has good reviews. And what you're looking for is you want to make sure that when it's plugged into this adapter, it doesn't move easily. It doesn't rotate around like this one that came with the Monoprice. You see how it just moves all around? With the good one, see the whole adapter moves before this spins around inside. So yeah, Monoprice, I mean, if you're gonna include an adapter, make sure you test it and it works good. Okay, so let's move on to what most of you are here for, sound quality of the M1060s. Okay, so as I mentioned, the sound on these is great. They sound very lively. I mean, comparing it to the AC650s, the sound separation is really good. Guitars and drums sound amazing on these M1060s. If you like music that has a lot of drums or guitars, these are the headphones to get. Vocals, if you're concerned about vocals, you might want to look at something else. Vocals are really good, but I think they're a little bit subdued. Also piano, I found that it's a little bit subdued as well. Guitars and drums, oh man, drums. The bass is the best I've ever heard. And I've been to stuff like CES, where I've heard quite a bit of headphones. So talking about the bass, I mean, you can really feel the bass. Imagine it's not right on you, it's not right next to you. It's kind of like, you separate it kind of like a few feet away, but it really punches it and you can feel it. You can feel it coming from there. It's not in your face bass. It's really good. So these have great sound separation and overall sound stage is great. Vocals sound like they're coming from dead center, but up above, like from a stage, like coming down on you. And you can listen to the separation, you know, especially on certain songs. Guitars are coming from this side, wind instruments, you can kind of hear them, but they don't sound right next to you. They sound like they're coming, you know, from somewhere else in the room, which sounds really, really good. The sound on these I found is very precise. It's fast and precise. So comparing them to the HC650s, all the sound kind of seems mixed in together in HC650s. The sound seems a lot more separated on these Monolith M1060s, and it's very precise, to the point sound. That's the best way I can explain it. So my final thought on these Monoprice Monolith M1060s are that they're amazing. At 300 bucks, I would honestly pay, I don't know, like $500, maybe $600 for these. I mean, if you're like me, you didn't want to spend more than $300 on a headset, but these are definitely worth more than $300. Especially the bass. I mean, the bass is killer on these. It's really awesome. I don't know what much. I don't know what more I can say about the bass on these. These sound amazing. Monoprice has a 30-day return policy. You pay $8 for next day delivery. Somebody will come to your house the next day after the ship date and deliver these to your house. You don't have to wait long for them. They look great. The wood, they're really big. The only thing I'm gonna say is that if you have a small head, these may not be the headphones for you. It might be a bit much. I'm a big guy. I'm like 6 foot, 250 pounds. So these work out great for me. Anyway, if you guys have any comments, comment down below. Hit like if you like the video, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Alright, till next time, I hope you enjoyed my review of the Monolith M1060 headphones.